Got it.
Okay. So, welcome to the HR Champions podcast. And joining us today is Miss Jessa Muit, who is the HR Director of Homesourced Incorporated, a leading outsourcing company based in Cebu. So, thank you so much, Miss Jessa, for joining us today. And we're really excited to have you here.
Hi, good afternoon.
Okay. So, to start things, can you give us like a quick introduction and a brief background of Jessa and your HR career?
Okay, yeah, my name is Jessa Muit Nadella. So I'm an HR practitioner for over 10 years now. I really started my career as a generalist. So I was really like exposed to different HR facets. And then fortunately, I was able to grow my career. I was given a platform by my organizations to showcase my potential and my capabilities. So I actually worked for different industries. I want to correct the word hop because I'm not a hopper,
Mhm.
employee hopper. But yeah, I experienced different industries from manufacturing,
Oh.
um manufacturing, construction, hospitality, farms, and then business process outsourcing at the same time. I also remember I was also engaged with one of the multi-purpose cooperative here in the Philippines. So yeah, that really I think what really helped me with my career is really my passion, because HR job is not really an easy job, to be honest with
Mm.
you. It's a thankless job. So yeah, I am very fortunate to be given a chance to just overall showcase my talent and, reach whatever I am now in my career.
Mm. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Actually, I can relate
Mhm.
yung thankless job. For kasi may mga
Yeah,
na-interview din ako na before na HR are wearing different hats, di ba?
that's true. We're
So,
like lawyers, but not
yes,
lawyers.
di ba? So, you're a lawyer, you're an investigator, you are an event
Events
organizer,
coordinator.
you're
Yeah,
you're
true.
you're you're a mediator, di ba? So you're wearing
That's true.
different hats. And sadly, hindi ganon. Again, not everyone are really appreciating yung HR. Okay, sige. On my first question, since you've been in HR for quite some time, what inspired you to work in the human resources? Aside from you mentioned kanina your passion
Yeah.
for
I actually had no plans to be. Thank you for asking that question, Homer. I really had no plans of being a human resource practitioner or whatever. Like I
talaga?
didn't really have any idea. Yeah, I really didn't have any idea on that profession. Like I know zero idea.
Mhm.
However, I have a cousin. I have actually have a cousin who at that time when I was like looking for a career or a course in college, like she was already working as an HR practitioner, and she told me, "Hey, it's really a good profession if you want to help other people." Because I really want to be a social worker at first. That's really my really
I
want to
see, I
help
see.
people. Yeah, that's really what I wanted the most. But I also my parents didn't want me to be a social worker or anything. Like they felt like we can always help other people by not being a social worker. So my cousin said if you're enjoying helping other people and working in a corporate office at the same time, then try taking the course, the psychology course, be a psychology course. So and
Mhm.
then it was really just an easy decision for me. Okay, all right. So I was just really going with the flow at that time. And then yeah, and that I was not just expecting that after graduation I will really become a human resource practitioner, because there were a lot of my classmates that had a different path. Like
Mhm.
most of them, they ventured into law,
Mhm.
medicine, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
Nice.
what really inspired me is that seeing my cousin doing so many things, and like she's always stressed out, like she's always talking about events, talking about problems in the office or problems with her employees, but at the end of the day she's very like she I can
Happy?
really see a sense of fulfillment in her, like.
Mm.
And yeah, and then there was even a time when I was already taking up psychology, and invited me to join their team building group. Like she organized a group, and then I had to help out as a material umpire or specialist at that time. And it was really a good experience for me because at the end of the day, like the satisfaction is there, like
Yes.
instantaneous.
Very rewarding.
True. That's
Nice. Galing, no? So, parang your story is parang hindi mo naman talaga plan eh. And then
as
eventually
it.
you fell in love with the ano, di ba?
That's true.
With the
I
HR.
enrolled as IT. I remember I enrolled as an IT
Uh-huh.
student, and then it's in, I don't know if you've heard of University of San Carlos because that's where
Yeah.
I
I
studied.
heard.
Yeah, so and then I was going to the building, and then it I had to do a long walk going to the building, and then I decided to okay, I'll just get another course. Maybe I'll just choose psychology. So,
Ah,
oh my gosh, thinking about it now,
galing,
God's
galing.
plans.
So, imagine, so you mentioned kanina, you've been in different industries and companies. Are all those based in Cebu lang ba? Or in other regions in the Philippines?
Yeah, I have one outside Cebu.
Mm.
And then there are also some of the employers that I've been where they are based in Manila and then they branched out here in Cebu.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So out of all those companies you work with, which one you really, I mean, the longest one you stayed with?
The longest is with the business process outsourcing. I've been with them for over almost 6 years rather. Almost six
Mhm.
years. It's in Cebu. It's not really a very big center like not a very big outsourcing company like 1,000, 2,000. We were just really small, but I lasted there for almost 6 years. It's a very good
Galing.
experience. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, sige. Moving on my next question. Um, what has been your biggest challenge as an HR leader, considering all the experiences you've had with different industries? Ano yung biggest like hurdle that you've encountered?
Change management. I think that's
Ah,
really
okay.
it. Yeah. When you implement a change, whether it be good or bad, as long as it's, sustainable for the organ, the goal is really for sustainability. That really for me is the struggle of the HR department. Like I did I had I don't know. I'm not really sure why I'm always exposed to employers where there's no handbook yet. I had to create my own
Mhm.
create the handbook. I have to
From
craft the
scratch.
policies within the department. So there were so many people that do not understand why we had to establish certain stuff like
Mhm.
policies or anything process and there are so many people are not that do not understand why we're doing that. And I think that is very challenging because we need to get the buy-in of people for a change to happen, right? So I think as an HR leader, that's really the biggest challenge because HR right now is not just, doing recruitment, hiring, firing, or payroll. HR
Mhm.
now are business partners. So
Mm.
we have to make, tough decisions as well. And that really is what's really challenging for me.
Mhm.
Really getting that buy-in from people, really getting the trust of people. Because there are a lot of people with bad experience with HR, like their HR is do not care about them or HR is not responsive. So we really have to
Ah.
make sure that, we remove those stereotypes for them to
Mhm.
so that we can get their buy-in. So yeah.
Mm. Agree. So currently, are you handling a team within HR? Ilan ba kayo sa
Right now,
HR?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I
Mhm.
do. We have the employee relations, and then before I took my maternity leave, I handled the payroll team. But right now, they have grew already, so I'm not really that active in doing payroll. 'Cause before, I was really doing
Aha.
payroll as well together with the payroll manager, and then we're just really a small team right now. To be honest with you, because the company just grew really fast last
Talaga.
year
So
and continuously growing.
currently what's the current head count of Homesource?
Headcount, it's 800 plus. That's a combination of the operations and non-operations employees.
Hmm. Okay. Sige. You mentioned kanina change of management. Was one, tama ba ako? Yun yung one of
Change
the
management.
change management. So have you encountered, since you've been in different industry, na merong mga management that are really conservative when it comes to HR, and then meron
I
din
see.
namang are really open to change and embracing new things. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, yeah. I did experience a lot of a lot of stuff like that in
Uh-huh.
my entire employment as an HR practitioner. So there were even people that would question, "Hey, why are we doing this? Before
Mm,
it was better, or now it's And there are really people who are very supportive. Like they understand that we're doing it because it's for the better of everyone, not just for the HR department. But I think what really helped me navigate that challenge is really establishing a good relationship with everybody. Like in every interaction that I do with people, I always make sure that it's a very good experience. Like they would all
mm,
like word of mouth. It's not just important for hiring right and sourcing candidates or getting referrals, but I think
mm,
that's really helpful when you create that connection with someone. They would always share that to other people, like, hey, she's really good, she would really care about your concerns or anything. And I think that that kind of relationship that you have would always help you in terms of implementing something, because they would immediately, okay, she I know she's doing it because it's for the betterment of everyone. I
mm,
also remember before when we had to create a different process. What I did was I talked to the tenured leaders first. I
mhm,
talked to them about it, discussed it, like as if it was a friendly discussion, getting their comment on it, and then asking them, hey, what if this will be implemented? Would I be able to get your support if ever?
mhm.
So I think that really helped me navigate the challenges in change management. So
Nice, nice. So I think that makes sense kasi those elders or tenured, they're the
elders,
ones
that's a good term.
they're the ones who really knew the people, di ba? The people up
Yeah.
there. So sila yung nakakilala. Makes sense. Okay, thank you. Okay, so my next question. This will be my third. What changes have you seen in the field of HR during your career? So you started, di ba? Let's say X years ago. What have you seen, or parang significant changes have you seen on the processes and general HR? What are the
I'm
changes
sorry.
have you seen? You're on mute, ma'am.
Sorry.
Ayan, okay.
Our radio. I don't know if you've heard about of our radio. I'm so sorry about that advertisement.
Go, go. Okay lang.
Yeah, but it's fine now. Anyway, going back.
Yun. Significant changes you have seen so far in your career that you have observed in HR. Like, kasi yung mga na-share sa akin before, for example,
Besides the technological change, because right now technology is really like it has transformed the HR department. Like before, it was really just the tone folder. Right now, there are
oo, yeah,
different
paperworks.
software that are yeah, that could be used to for paperless
Mhm,
paperless transaction. So besides that, I would say how people perceive the HR department, because I think way back I did meet some people who think that HR is just really firing, hiring, and just doing
mhm,
payroll. Like that's really just the role of HR department. Like you
mhm,
can't say anything about business strategies or anything that has to do with business, because your goal is really just hire people. So
mhm.
I do you get what
Yeah, yeah, ma'am, I can
I
relate.
mean? So yeah, I've seen that. I've seen how I've seen how people just really think about HR as transactional people. Like it's really just
Mhm,
purely transaction. But right
mhm,
now it has has already shifted to a more or a forward thinking HR. Like it HR isn't just hiring and firing, or HR isn't just suspension and payroll or salary. HR now is really the partners of the organizations and the people to ensure, a strategic approach to
Mhm.
to to enable a sustainable business. So I think that's what really, even before, like, training and development, that's part of HR, right?
Mhm.
Employers before are not really spending money on training. Like, it really didn't make probably didn't make sense to them, or it's just an additional expense for them. But right now, most of the employers already understand the importance of training and development, and I think that's really because people are educated now that, those things are important for the business. Attritions, performance of people. So I think that really helped establish what HR is now. Slowly, not all employers really understand what
Mm.
HR is, but
Yes,
I believe
yes.
most employers do understand already the role of the HR department.
Yes. Yun. Sadly, there are still companies na parang stereotype pa rin yung tingin sa
I know.
HR. 'Di ba? Na this HR is again hiring and firing, payroll can really relate to that.
Yeah.
Siguro what I can share is one of my guests mentioned is employees should understand that it's HR who takes care of the people, 'di ba? The employees, and
Yeah,
employees are your company's
that's
best
correct.
asset. So, who are going to take care of the people if you're not taking care of HR? 'Di ba? So yun yung naging
That's
ano niya,
true.
na-share niya sa akin. So, kailangan i-support si HR when it comes to the programs they are rolling out, 'di ba? Again, it's not hindi na yung parang before na HR na limited lang They are considering HR as an integral part of business continuity, 'di ba?
Or just an
So,
expense. HR
oo.
department as just an expense
'Di
of
ba?
the
Yun yung
organization.
oo, pero hindi na ngayon. They involve HR
Yeah.
in planning na, especially when it comes to, employee engagement, retention, training, 'di ba, and development of
Compliance as
employees.
well.
Compliance,
Yeah.
yes, tama, yun. Okay, thank you for that, for sharing that, Miss Jessa. So eto, medyo anong tanong, as an HR leader, how do you set your goals?
I set it based on importance, honestly.
Okay.
Importance and how impactful it is. So I don't really believe in setting a lot of goals at the same time and then trying to hit it as soon as possible. Like I as much as I can, I always try to treat it like with, what's the highest priority, what's the lowest priority, so that we can really hit it, and not just on priority but how impactful it is to the business
Mhm.
and to the people as well. So
Hmm, okay. Would you, um si Homesourced ba it's like, is it a multinational company, si Homesource?
sorry, Homer.
Okay. I was asking if Homesource is like an offshore or multinational company. Is it based in US or homegrown ano siya,
Yeah, it is
company?
it's it's a business process outsourcing. Basically, we are supporting clients from the US. So
Hmm.
it's a typical BPO, but it was established by Filipino owners plus an American.
Okay. So when yun, just to ano lang ma'am, when you're setting goals, obviously kailangan din naman ng ano nila. So you have to submit it to them, tama ba?
Yes, the buy-in of those
Mhm.
people on top.
Okay, correct, correct. Okay lang. Sige. Moving on. Ito ma'am, it has something to do with the recent pandemic. So, what big changes have you seen when it comes to implementing or rolling out employee motivation programs in different companies? Kasi before, di ba, halimbawa, team building, it's face to face. Kasi prior to the
Yes.
pandemic. And then everything shifted
Pandemic.
online, di ba? So
Work from
that's
home. Yeah.
one of the big changes and adjustments. So can you share your experience on that?
It was actually hard, doing engagement activities. Like in my previous employer, it was really a very big organization before Homesourced. So we were around 3,000 people or
Wow,
almost
dami.
4K. Yeah, it was really it's a big industry because it's composed of construction, farms, hospitality.
Mhm,
So it was really a combination of different organizations. And what really was challenging was, how to motivate people, how to keep them engaged. So
mhm,
it was difficult because interactions during the pandemic, it was very limited. Like it was limited. You can't really do face to face, unlike before. You can't do year end parties or
yes.
just gather people around and talk or just play. So we had to create online
Mhm.
activities. Unfortunately, what was challenging is not everyone is, techie. Not everyone
Ah,
is appreciative of online
yes.
online games. Yeah, so
Oo.
I think that was really the during the pandemic. I think that was the most challenging goal of the HR department, to keep everyone engaged and
Mhm,
motivated, because I think the motivation of people really shifted during the pandemic. Like people before, like even for personally, I was okay working in the office, but right now I would prefer working from home.
mhm.
There's the preference of people really shifted. Like the
Mhm.
games alone, the games, it's like before, if it has like Oktoberfest party,
Yes,
you know what I
yes.
mean? Like people really are
Oo.
so engaged and motivated doing those activities, but right now, I don't think people are, because
Mhm,
people now are more prioritizing the family, spending time with family. So yeah, that's a challenge. Even up
mhm,
until now, I would say.
mhm. Yes, there are things talaga that you can that online can't replace, 'di ba?
Yes.
Yung halimbawa, yung physical activities, being there, joining the team building, iba yung feeling versus
Yeah.
doing it online, 'di ba? Iba pa rin
Yeah,
yung ano. But
that's
eventually,
true.
oh, 'di
And
ba?
then there sorry, there are also other employers now that are really doing I forgot the term, but like they're doing rewarding people, but the reward is not like, they don't set the reward. They set the reward, but the specific award that those people are getting, like for example, I'm a I would be the employee of the year. Like before,
Mhm.
I have seen like employers giving example, GCs, gift certs,
Yes, yes,
one
oo.
night
So
stay to a
Dexo.
certain hotel. But yeah, but right now there are employers that are doing I really forgot the term, but it's a different incentivizing process, wherein
Mhm,
people are just it's a point system. Now I remember
mhm.
system incentive. I don't know if you've heard of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
scheme, but
Yes, yes.
it's a point system. It's a point system now where um people, when they do a good job, they know how many points they're going to earn, but
Mhm.
they are the ones choosing what reward
Yes.
are they getting after getting those points. So I think
Yes.
that also blossomed during the pandemic,
Mhm.
because it's not the employers anymore setting the awards
Yes.
they're getting.
That offers flexibility, di ba? Kasi before,
Yes.
let's say your reward is like a fruit basket. For example lang, for a fruit basket.
Right, right.
So employee is that's okay, but I would prefer points or something monetary that I can use maybe to pay bills, 'di ba? Maybe to buy something that I really
Yeah,
need, 'di ba?
that's true. Just to share with you, Homer, I had
Sige.
an experience when I was awarded as an employee of the year. And
Ah,
then the award was, I believe, a cash plus a stay at Shangri-La. Was it at Shangri-La at that time?
wow.
So it was a staycation with an
Uh-huh.
allowance. So I was really excited when I got that, to be honest, because okay, I get to rest. But then I'm a
Uh,
very family oriented person. I'm not married yet at that time, so when it happened. So
Ay, okay,
yeah,
sige,
and
sige.
I'm very family oriented, which means that when I go out, I really have to bring my entire family with me. So you know
Uh,
what I did, because it was really challenging. I could not bring them with me because it was just
oh.
an overnight stay for two. I had to I had to sell the ticket, the GC. I had to sell the GC so that I can use the
Hmm.
fund to bring my family with me. Like, it was really a funny experience. But yeah, at least now people with the point system scheme or other schemes but that the employers are doing, people can get to choose what really motivates them the most,
Hmm.
diba?
Yes.
What really engages them the most.
Galing, galing. So when you just curious lang. So when you sold the ticket, is it in the same hotel or iba na yung sa kayo pumunta? Hello?
No, it was a different hotel because
Ah, okay.
we're from Lapu-Lapu, so we don't usually visit hotels also in Lapu-Lapu or resorts in Lapu-Lapu. As much as
Mhm.
possible, we do it out of town. So I was
Ah,
able to
okay.
bring my family. And then most of the resorts also here in Lapu-Lapu not allow us to bring dogs, and we have two dogs in the family.
Hmm.
So
So
it
dapat
was
pet
really
friendly.
challenging. Yeah, as much as I would like to bring them with me at Shangri-La, it wasn't just possible at all because
Hmm.
we also can't afford to leave our dogs behind.
Yeah, so that's one of the good things about being flexible, 'di ba? You can choose. Kasi yun nga, if you're going to give me a ticket na just for two, tapos I can't bring my fur babies,
Family.
'di ba? And
And
my
plus
fur
for
babies. So hindi ko siya may enjoy. I can't enjoy staying there, 'di ba? So that's
yeah, because
one.
you will keep on checking your dogs. Oh, what's going on with
Okay. So yung buong family, you were able to take them out, 'di ba? Instead of just a ticket for two or a staycation for two. Because of the flexibility, you were able to bring your whole family, 'di ba? Nice. Okay. Sige. Eto ma'am, kanina you were
right?
mentioning. Okay, sige. Thank you. Parang may ano yata, may delay yata ako mama. Okay lang ba? Are you hearing me clear?
Yeah, yeah. I can hear you
Okay.
well.
Okay, sige. Okay, sige. You mentioned kanina ma'am, ito yung medyong issue that most companies, especially for outsourcing and BPO, are really facing is yung attrition. Okay. So what are your
Oh,
thoughts
okay.
on attrition, its roots, and how possible like solution on how companies can address them?
Retention. I think over the years that no company has really mastered, you know, and in understanding attrition, because no matter how much we try to keep people, there are always reasons why people are leaving,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Agree.
And I would say that, yeah, for an organization to keep its employees, I think they have to really make sure that the culture that they're making is really good. And not just the culture, by the
Mm-hmm.
way, also the compensation, it has to be competitive. They have to do benchmarking in other BPOs as well. And aside from that, the leadership, the strength, management strength, leadership is very important in every organization. Like, I
Yes.
don't know if organizations understand that, but not having good leaders or great leaders in an organization, that really kills the culture of the organization. No
Yes.
matter how fun an organization is, you would create a game room or put in a lot
Pizza.
of stuffs there, yeah, pizza party. If the people are not happy with their pay, people are not happy with the services of the HR department, they don't feel they're led well. They are
Mhm.
being supported by their leaders. I don't think people are gonna stay in an organization. So, like, I would like to share with you an experience with my previous BPO, because we
Hmm.
really have very low attrition rate, Homer.
Single
Before
digit ba?
the employer
Or
where I stayed for six
are
years. Yeah,
you
it was really like low attrition. Like, there was, yeah, there were so many people asking, like, are you hiring? Because we don't normally hire people. When we
Uh-huh.
hire, it's really addition, not replacement.
Mhm.
So yeah, it the attrition rate was really low, like 2%, 3% attrition
Wow,
rate in a year. Yeah, it's
galing ah.
very low. It's very low, and it was really, I believe, because of the culture.
Hmm.
Yeah, the culture, and then the leaders are like the leaders on top, not just the managers, the team leads, or the supervisors, but really the people on top, owners themselves. The owners are really helping with the culture, and it really
Mhm.
helped us. Yeah, in people staying, like people, even if people would leave our organization before, they would always come back. Even if people will say it's greener outside, it's a greener pasture outside, but they would always come back because
Oh. Okay. Ayun nga, so you were telling kanina, sino ba yung na-catch ko, about leadership and how they really
yeah,
influence employees to stay.
true. And then I think also consistency with the decisions of the top management. I think that is very, because people really are, because before Homer, I would say that it's really the employees trying to sell themselves to the organizations. Like it was easier to hire before, hire people before, because there were so many candidates, and candidates were really trying to sell themselves. But right now, it's not just the candidates selling themselves anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Organizations have to sell themselves anymore also, or the organization also has to sell themselves outside to those
Yes.
candidates, because if they're not enticing enough, people will never, you know, jump to that organization. So that is also one, I believe, of the transitions that's happening in the world right now,
Mm-hmm.
because people are choosy now. They're choosing organizations,
Yes.
or
Oo.
organizations had to make sure that they are relevant. The word of mouth is really strong. The reputation is good. Because if not, I don't think people will apply.
Mhm. What I can share with that naman is yung workforce is really like evolving, like for Gen Zs and the
Yes.
millennials, 'di ba? You
Millennials,
mentioned
yeah.
kanina hindi na it's not they're not the applicants are of course they try to sell themselves to of course to get hired, 'di ba? But as you
Yes.
mentioned, companies nowadays, siguro almost companies are doing this. They have to sell themselves to the applicants. Let's say you have the talent na talagang it's fit for for the role you're looking at. And you have to do your offer to them, 'di
Yeah.
ba? And as what one of the HR leaders that shared to me, millennials now are more than or are looking beyond the monetary, beyond the compensation. Will I have
Yes.
growth in this company? Will you, di ba? Will I be challenged? Will there be new learnings? Di ba? So those are the things that
Will I
I
get
think
work-life balance at the same
yes,
time?
yun.
Right?
Are mag-o-OT ba ako
PTO
dito
setup.
every day, right? 'Di ba?
Yeah.
So yun yung ano. But although all those things considered, 'di ba? Well, first congratulations kung ganun kalo if your attrition
Yeah.
is single digit kasi dito sa Manila, I think ang BPO for the average they're having 30% attrition,
Yeah,
which is
30%. That's
really
what
high,
I
'di
I
ba?
read.
So yun yung
It's very high. And
very
replacing people is very costly.
yes, exactly, 'di ba? So hiring new or making employees stay is definitely more practical than to hire, 'di ba?
Yes,
Than to hire new
that's true.
ones. So I think that's one of the things that HR are really trying to tell the management. Now, it's easier for us to retain employees, to train them, to make them stay, versus hiring a new set of workforce that we have to train, very low chance of delivering, di ba?
Yes.
So the programs that we should roll out should be something really enticing for employees to stay,
Yes.
di ba? And to attract new talents
Yes.
as well.
True.
And organizations should make that their company really, really good, like really, really exceptional. So
Mhm.
people are afraid to lose the organization.
Yes.
Like they're afraid to go
Oo.
out of that organization because they would lose so much. The
Mhm.
experience, the support, the income or anything. Like they really have to make sure that within the organization it's very, very good for the employees and sustainable at the same
Mhm.
time, long
Yes.
term.
Agree. Talagang hindi na it's not just about the pay, right? It's not just about that. So
It's true.
if
That's really true, Homer.
diba, if you're going to promote me or if you're going to have any I haven't pay increase, but I'll be experiencing this stress, this pressure, diba? So it's
Yes.
minsan it's
It's
employees
not worth
are
it.
yes, yun, not worth it. So employees are like opted to not to jump somewhere else. 'Di ba? The pay may
Yes,
not
they,
be that good or at on par pa rin naman, but his or that employee might be after something else. 'Di ba?
yeah.
That employee might be after the culture, 'di ba? The growth, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So it's really a challenge for HR to it's HR
Yeah. And then
talaga.
yeah, and at the same time, Homer, I think it's also with the leaders and HR should be able to support and
Mhm.
educate the leaders. That leaders have each leader has to understand and know their members really well so that they
Mhm.
would know what motivates their member, what keeps their members engaged, because not really
Yes.
getting to know your people, you will not be able to retain them. You don't know how
Mhm.
to retain those people. So I think leadership, but at the end of the day, it's the responsibility of again the HR department to develop and train those people to have those necessary skills.
Yes. Can't agree more.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
talaga the culture should start with the leaders. And
that's
then
true.
HR is a catalyst, 'di ba? You roll out
Yeah,
programs, but it should be leaders who set an example first. Kasi when employees are
yeah, that's
seeing
true.
these from the leaders, 'di ba? They are sharing the same vision. They are parang they feel something na this is they are serious about their
Yeah,
employees and the culture. Na yun nga, it's more
they're
than
consistent. Yeah, consistent.
mhm. Yes. Nice, nice. Okay. So I'm down to my last question. Ilang minutes na ba tayo? Sabi ko sa'yo, sobra tayo ng ano eh. Anyway, sige ma'am. So, for our young listeners and audience out there who are planning to dive in or to venture on the field of
HR
HR,
profession.
so what's your advice and your tips for them?
You have if you're listening out there and you're planning to become an HR practitioner, mind you, you need to have a very tough heart and mind because HR job is no easy job. Like it probably is very flowery to hear. The position in itself, like the human resource staff generalist or just HR, just doing HR job, it's really a flowery or a colorful profession, but it's a very difficult profession and it's a thankless job. I think that's what I always tell even my members. Like it's a thankless job, and when you are really interested in pursuing a career in the HR in human resource, then you have need to understand that you need to have that passion in serving people because if you don't have that, you will not last and become a good HR practitioner because it's very easy to just become an HR practitioner, but it's very difficult to become a good human resource practitioner, an HR that people will always remember.
Hmm.
And I hope if you're listening out there and if you're planning to pursue it, I hope you have that mental strength, emotional strength, and whatever strength that you have right there. I hope that you have that in you because it's not gonna be easy to be an HR practitioner. It's not easy, and you have to work with integrity always because you're when you're implementing something and you yourself is not you don't have the integrity, that integrity, people will never listen to you. People will not respect what you're doing if they cannot see that you're walking your talk. It's very
Nice, nice,
simple. Yeah, service. It's always, servant leadership when you're an
nice.
HR.
Very,
Mm-hmm.
very well said, Miss Jessa. Siguro, one word that I can summarize, or that would be impact. So
Yes.
the impact that you're
It,
going to make with the people you are encountering, or di ba, you're working with what you shared, that you have the strength, the mental strength, the emotional strength, and all those
yeah.
things, di ba?
Because
So kasi
we're spending how many hours at work, right? It's even more than the number of hours that we're allocating for rest or even for leisure. Like most
mm,
of our lives, it's always, working, work, OT or whatever. So I think work life is also, our personal life. I feel like it entangles with our personal life. So it's very nice if whatever you do, you always try to be a blessing to others, to have an impact to others. 'Cause
yes, yes.
that's what I always remind myself. How do I want myself to be remembered when I leave an organization or just leave here on earth?
Mhm.
So yeah, how do we want people to remember us?
Nice, nice. Thank you so
Mhm.
much, Miss Jessa. So, that's my last question actually. So, if there are people who will be watching this, what's the best way to reach to you, or to connect, or to network with you?
Oh, they can actually reach me through LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn account. It's my full name. I'm using my full
Yeah,
name
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I
Okay.
also have a Facebook account and an Instagram, but I don't have, TikTok or anything. I don't have that. Very old school me. But yeah, I do have Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. But I'm not so active on Instagram though.
Okay. Sige. Siguro I can siguro somewhere here sa recording, we can display
Okay, yeah, you can
your
put it.
LinkedIn, or your
All right.
Facebook. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then they
So,
can also visit our
yeah.
company website, or if they want to, connect with us also, connect with
Mhm.
me through our company, that can also be done.
Okay. Sige. So, this has been your HR Champions podcast. See you on our next episode.
Thank you, Homer. Bye.
Stay ka lang, ma'am.